There we go. There we go. It's working. All right. Log in everything. All right. So what do we got here? Close that. We got 10 a.m. news. We got unemployment claims at 8:30, which didn't do too much, but we're now pushing up in towards daily highs. But it's not offering anything to trade. But yeah, we're pushing up into this, potentially up into the new week, the wick high of last week, and here maybe I'll put it on. We swept Wednesday's low. No, well, in Asia we did. Like Wednesday's morning session. Just imbalanced again. There's really nothing here. Just continuing with this trend on the RTH and just continuing to push. So nothing really changed. Where are we pushing up to? Probably this imbalance here. It seems like the low-hanging fruit. We have a daily RTH gap there. Yeah, low-hanging fruit just seems like we got quite a bit of imbalance in this down move here, and that's what we're pushing up towards. Although this can equally be, and I'm very cautious about this, is a development of a market maker sell model. So we got buy side of the curve and then sell side of the curve. That's potential. And when I'm seeing this aggressive move, that's kind of screaming fake out to me, trappy. No guarantees yet, but trappy indeed. Nothing really sticking out to me right now. Just some building up of liquidity, pushing up. We're in a range. It's end of the month, end of the quarter, so I'm not expecting too much. I'm just looking for a quick scalp intraday, the intraday liquidity, and just get in, get out. That's the plan for today. So I like to make a plan, stick to that plan, and then that's it. Doesn't matter what price does. I set my plan. I set my path to execution beforehand, and ride it out. So let's see. A monster push off the open, liquidated at 8:30, continuing with that direction. But nothing I was able to capture, and that's fine. Got news at 10 o'clock. We'll see if that wants to give us an expansion to the upside, or if this is in fact more than the obvious. Let's see.
looking to do now? She got her hands out, I'ma be the one that don't take it. Even when there's not a club, even in the cold and all. She the one to call my bluff. She the one to call me babe. Try to open up my mind. If there's a fire in your kitchen and when your roof just won't stop leaking. I remember times when there was war. The trees offered shade from the sun. Held in my hands were the dreams of us. Hard to catch them while you're on the run. Suffer through a heat wave, such a silver sea. But you're gonna stay hiding, never show yourself to me. Chemicals in my body, just like you did. Trying to learn every day how to live with this pain. Still in the lost and found, lost people all around and lonely. Lost all in a ghost town, no one seems ready now to love me. Woke up in this room, feels cold without you. Yeah, I can't let go. No, I can't let go. Been trying different fields, but none of them brought you here. I still can't let go. Did you let me go? Woke up in this room, feels cold without you. Yeah, I can't let go. No, I can't let go. Been trying different pills, but none of them brought you here. I still can't let go. Did you let me go? Woke up in this room, feels cold without you. Yeah, I can't let go. No, I can't let go. Been trying different wheels, but none of them brought you here. I still can't let go. Did you let
Order filled.
Slap a little position on. Let's get a feel for the market right now. A little position on, half risk. See if we get a little feel here. A little feeler. This wants to start running down a little bit. Okay. Be managing pretty aggressively. Come on now. Got a lows. See if we can push down. Low hanging fruit here. You can settle there here. Let's just see. Let's just see. It's half risk. It's because it's so early in the leg, but intuition is telling me just short, so let's see what happens. Change in state of delivery is confirmed. I just want to pull down into the discount of the range. Got a little taste here. Start the day, that's all. Down a little deeper. You know, NQES is holding pretty strong. We're not even taking that low yet, but we should still roll over here. Unless ES is really that strong, but I doubt it. ES is generally the weaker of the two. It's not performing that well. What's Nvidia doing right now? Gap down, it's finding support. Okay, taking out here. Or small loss, that's fine. If I do.
Order filled.
All right. The small loss on the day, no problem. Keep getting a feel here. That's why low risk off the top here. And that's all good. Continue to rally up. A little bit of SMT. I still don't really want to sell it just yet. Let's see here. All right. Let's see what happens here. Got news in 10 minutes. Something across the highs. I guess just telling me that this is like a manipulation. We want to come take out these data lows. We'll see.
Order filled.
Yeah. I need you to turn all the lights off in the club right now.
Dab at it once more.
To the dance floor.
Again, $200 risk, so $250 this time. So if I lose, I'm down 1R, which is reasonable. Those data lows look super juicy. I like how ES now has broken the low. We have SMTs across the highs. Now, what's my path of managing this? Is the question. Got a good feel. Okay. That looks really good down at those data lows on the NQ. I just want to see this weight hold on. I know that this is equilibrium, so we're going to want to be a little bit cautious here. I unfortunately can't peel any off because I'm on one contract. Good stuff, good stuff. Good, nice and heavy. Nice and heavy. Nice and heavy.
Yeah. I need you to turn all the lights off in the club.
Nice and heavy. What were we at? We were at 250. So I'm going to use, because this is such an aggressive move, I'm going to use my, when I'm at 2R, go break even. So I'm just going to be break even on this trade. We're going to let that run to data lows just a little bit. We're going to front run that a bit and just make our bag and be done with it. So my entry, let me mark it over here. 2,000, 20,000, 7475. So nice and high. Stop loss was 87.25. And target right now is just this imbalance here. The heaviness through the lows. Heaviness through the lows. These data lows. Okay, so data lows might get taken on ES first, and I'm cool with that. I'll just take the profit. Like I said, ES is generally the weaker pair. I just want to be out at liquidity. I'm gonna take out there, and we'll be done with it at 13,200 profit. Got 1,000 on the account right now. As soon as this gets hit, I have to close the trade, regardless of outcome. All right, there it is.
Order filled.
939 profit on the funded, or not the funded, but the combine. That's good. Documenting the journey. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. After this one, I've been getting really comfortable with these combines now. I've been trading this one for just my 12th day or something. Low risk. You don't need. This is showing you like what you don't need. You don't need to risk the fucking bag and try and pass in 2 days, right? You can do this by taking chip shots, base hits, like 0.5 risk of my drawdown, right? That'd be a 5% risk of my drawdown. That's 0.5R. It's $200 or less, $250. between $200 $250. And yeah, you don't need to swing for the fences. You don't need to pass in a week. You don't need to use 100 resets. You just keep hitting it like this. That's all that matters. I'll stay in. Usually I just cut it like this, but I'm feeling good about Thursday, Friday, and I've been waiting for these. So we keep it going. This looks pretty good, but dude, I don't need to push it. That's the thing, right? I don't need to push it. I'd rather wait for a new setup when I'm confident in direction. My draw was already hit on the ES, so I'm just taking the low-hanging fruits for today, and that's what I suggested at the start of the call or of the live stream. So I'm running with it. There's no point at all to continue to push, past the low-hanging fruit objective, especially not in a market like this. What it does look like, though, which I was pretty confident coming into the day, and why I was waiting for the Wednesday, was I was trying to figure out, what kind of profile are we in? And to me right now, it seems that we're in a consolidation, potentially Thursday reversal. You can see we have consolidation all throughout these, and maybe on ES that's even a little bit clearer. On ES, we have Monday's a larger range, and we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and then this is all consolidation, and then we've manipulated a high. And we haven't manipulated Monday's high, but we have on the NQ. So I'm just weighing out the possibilities, right, of where is price likely to go throughout this day, and that's how I'm going to form a daily bias. But I know that we're in a range, right? We're in a consolidation range. We're at the end of the quarter. We're at the end of the month. There's no reason to push a bias very hard, because we understand, power of three, or open, high, low, close, really. We opened, we set a low, we set a high on the month, we push down, we set a close, and in this range, what happens here is you're just going to get some sort of a consolidation, and I don't need to push that. And then on the open, we'll get an open, maybe some sort of a push down, and then a push up, and like this is really looks like a consolidation until we get the distribution for the month, and we do the same thing if that's a bullish month, right? So right now we're just in this period here, so there's no reason for me to push the bias. We're in that period on a weekly time frame. We're in that period on a monthly time frame. We're in that period on a quarterly time frame. So there's really absolutely no point to hold a bias past an intraday levels, and that's how you get smoked, right? Not being able to identify the risk conditions and the market conditions. And I could be wrong, and that's fine, right? Because you just have to set your parameters and your strategy coming into the day. If you can't do that, then you're going to get smoked, and you're not going to know why you got smoked, right? I would rather take a small piece of a really good day. Is my thing on? Yeah. I would rather take a small piece of a really good day than try and take a big piece out of a really small day, right? You can't get hurt by taking small pieces. But when you're confident that it's a big day, you go and you swing large, and that's it. You don't change it up. You take that one loss, it invalidates your idea, and you're done for the day. You realize that maybe you're wrong on your bias, and you're done for the day. But you can't be wrong on your bias by doing base hits. And I mean, that was a big trade, but I am using half risk. Why? Because I identified that the risk conditions are unfavorable, right? We're in a very unbiased condition, and I like to have a better risk on when I know what the day is likely to do. When I know what the week's likely to do and the month's likely to do, right? As it stands, there's no reason to push. That's why you just take the low-hanging fruit. That's why I front run this a bit as well. My target was right there. You know how pissed I would be? But the reason I took profit is because my target really was the data lows as liquidity. And there's a strong confluence between, or relationship, I should say, between ES and NQ. And well, NQ ran the lows. That's why I have that alert there. You got to close it right away. So I ended up closing probably up in here, which is totally fine, right? Don't need to let it run straight to your target all the time. You got to be logical, and you have to know that risk comes first. News at 10 did nothing. Okay, pushing up. Gonna take weak highs, probably weekly highs. Not weekly. Yeah, right. The current week highs. Yeah, current week high, right up there. But this is the day where you just don't impose anything onto the market. You just take these lower time frame quick scalps. Very corrective, deep pullbacks, high resistance across these highs now because we took the data lows. This is SMT across the highs, so it's manipulation. This can go any which way, right? We're respecting the hourly FEG and we're rejecting it with the bodies pretty cleanly. On the ES, let's pull up the NQ over here. The NQ just even deeper up in the leg here, bouncing off the daily highs here from Monday. And we did pull up into the FUG from last week's Thursday, so we can see some resistance. We just have a lot of things in the way that are going to hold us down. We just overturned now the next 4-hour candle. Not too interested in this one currently. I think I'm pretty interested in the PM session today. I think we're going to get quite a move. And then Friday, I'm definitely interested in Friday. So I just want to save my shots. I want to save my mental capital for Friday and hopefully push it. We can push this account up into new heights. We're at 155 almost. It's good. I can push that up to 156, 157 for Friday. I'll pass it next week. That'd be good. But I mean, time doesn't matter. It's just execute and wait and see what happens. I'm risking like 0.25. That's a 20, 30 R or something. If I'm risking half R. That's a joke. My guy Chris, I think Paul's gonna come back. I gotta find a way that we can get a bunch of people on here with cameras swapping, but I haven't figured it out yet. Whoever wants to join can join. Not take it too seriously. Like it that way. Low expectations means consistency. That's what I realized. I had a nice long think yesterday. I was like, you know, I was so against doing this whole live streaming thing because I had high expectation. I'm like, oh, I gotta promote it, and then I gotta, you know, I gotta hopefully get, you know, people drawn in. Then I gotta grow my Twitter, and I gotta grow this and this, so I can promote it more. And then I realized I don't care. So I'm just treating it like a little journal, you know, like a log. Track my journey. And it's going well. Yo, what's good, my guy? There's the man, the myth, the legend. We miss you, but he's golfing too much. Fucking will. Miss you on the shards, buddy. I hear it's really hot in the UK, like 20 degrees. You guys are cooking. Come back, buddy. We're always waiting for you. I took a nice trade here in this leg. So we're up, I'm only risking half R. So I've been risking half R for over a week now. All week. I don't think I've taken a single full R trade this week. And that's fine. That's fine. There's just unsurety, both on my end for you know, how I'm viewing the bias. And, you know, I've been feeling good risking $200. So I'm just going to keep risking $200. I'd be past the count if I was risking full R, but whatever. Let me see if I can share the screen here. Show you what the trade was. This is on a 15-second. Okay. go. You can see this. This is Top Step trading at Combine, and it was on a 15 second. We rolled over. I tried to stab at this, but I got down lower, so I ended up executing in here. It was a little bit rushed, honestly, but I was looking for this move. It didn't happen right away. This came, took me out. I should have used half risk, like even smaller risk, I mean, and just trailed my stop up here because that was really the invalidation point. We ran up and then we started to deliver down. I saw SMT. We were rejecting off this FEG really nicely, you know, ran those highs. And then I just saw in here these, where was it? I saw this is really my change in the state of delivery, because this is where like the displacement came out, and I looked at this down close candle. We traded up into it, started to trade away, or it was this was all consolidation to me, and I saw this as the change in the state of delivery. 1 2 3 up, tapped into it one more time, rejected really hard, traded back up into that. I sold right here. Stop was somewhere maybe up here or something like that, and this ran. It was like 5 hour or something. I don't remember the exact stops. Should be on my chart though. No. Yeah, it was something like this. I ended up taking profit probably around here. I think it was something tight like that. Maybe a little lower I took profit. Something like that. The 15-second sauce, dude. I love these trades. I came into the day and then 9:30 opened, 8:30 news, 9:30 push in that direction. I was like, dude, I've seen this so many times where this is just wants to roll over and smoke people. So I looked at data lows and I looked at ES. So I just set an alert with ES's lows, right? And whatever got ran first, as soon as it was ran, I just closed it. So that's how I got out, which ended up being on this candle, 52.45. Oh, so I got out on this guy right here. So pretty close to my target. My goal was to run this into this FEG, but I didn't, so I ended up closing a little bit higher. And that's why you don't just hold out for the final target. You just get it done. Just gotta get paid. Yeah, still look like an AI. Like, I wish I was AI. Super fucking brain never sleep. The 4 hour here, it's screaming bullish to me. Now that I'm looking at this objectively. But end of the quarter, end of the month. I don't want to push too hard. Good. Well, that's not gonna help. Go back to trading view. Trading view. Yeah, like look at the month here for both ES and NQ. We're at the end of the month. It's a bull month. What do we expect, right? We're gonna expect this range is developing, right? The end of the month, the open of the next month. This range is developing, right? This range here is in development. Most likely, right? Obviously this can go rockets, you know, put the jets on and continue to rally, but I'm just gonna play the probabilities. End of the month, end of the quarter, same thing, right? We got quarter ending in a day. What do we get out of the end of the quarter? Probably, you know, consolidation. Doesn't always happen, obviously. Like we can have, it's a quarterly basis, so we can obviously have a bullish month, a bearish month, a bullish month, but play the probabilities, not expect too much. When it gets clear, push. I do think though that next month's just going to be bullish as hell. Consolidate, bullish again. Getting super interested in crypto for the first time in a long time. Do like how Bitcoin came down into the lows. It's catching a bid. I'm pretty interested in buying some coins here too. I'm looking at 3 coins. Want some, I don't know what they're called. Some AI coins, some fintech coins. Bounce off these lows. So I got an alert there just in case we come back there again. I definitely want to pick some up. Otherwise, maybe something up in there, but there's potentially more downside for cryptocurrencies anyways. But this looks like accumulation. Like, this is great. Anything for me, if we just like pull back down into here, like, I'm pretty interested. There's another one which I'm interested in. Just made this little list yesterday. Ondo, another one I want to pick up. This is backed by BlackRock, so you know it's just going to go to the moon. And that's rallying. This honestly can go insane. And Sol is a good pickup. Yeah, I wish I picked some up yesterday. It looked like it was going to rally. Ran through lows, changing the state of delivery. I wanted to see this low get swept. It didn't get swept. And it's rallying off. Holy shit. Should have picked some up yesterday. But it's okay. It's crypto. It doesn't really matter. 10%. You just pick it up and you hold it and you let it go. Finding a base. Yeah, when I'm looking at crypto, I'm not trading ICT. Just common sense. You know, find support and it can push off. Total 3 is the crypto market cap without Bitcoin or Ethereum involved, so everything except those. So it shows you the health of the market without the basically like the crypto indexes. Yeah, I think everybody wants to see lower prices, but I'm not convinced that that's going to happen. Unless everyone starts stacking on leverage. If everyone just starts piling on leverage at lows, then we know what happens. Tons of liquidity below. They get rated, and then we see highs. If we don't get max leverage positions being put on, then that's not going to happen. And we have... It depends how greedy people get. And fear greed index is still out of 40, so that's pretty fearful. That means that there's going to be lower leverage. So good. Holy Solana. Took for a previous 4-hour high. Gonna reject in a little. Nothing interesting to me right now. Takes out Wednesday's high again, rejects. 1, 2, 3 drives in. I quite like for the short narrative. Rejecting off the 50%. 1, 2, 3 drives in. Yeah, chop. Choppity chop. Not chop, just tight grind. High resistance. I wouldn't be interested in selling this anymore. This was just so juicy to take. Grinding up. Maybe we just continue the slow grind. That seems to be the case. But it tightened up a lot.
Just made me feel I could fly. So now I keep on floating. And I don't think I'm ever coming down. I'm waiting up for so long. Looking at the castle in the sky. I was dealing with my vertigo. But now I found out there's some reason.
Extreme frozen. If you guys ever find yourself in a situation like this where you just keep switching between time frames, you're marking a bunch of things up, deleting it off your charts, marking different things up, deleting it off your charts, you know, just trying to find something, that's what you're doing in that case, is you're seeking, you should step away from the charts. It's the start of a very bad turn of events. It's a very bad habit to build. You don't want to do that. So you mark up what you mark up and you sit back and you can chill and just let the chart do what it needs to do. Let the price do what it needs to do. Let time play its role. If you're here, you know, marking up everything as the range gets tighter and you're like, okay, oh, you know, we broke down here and we're going to break down here. But then you just start marking everything out and you go, oh, you know, we didn't run this, or we might come back, grab that later. And then you start to look at this, oh, but this sweeps, so this is going to be resistance, so we'll go higher, and that's when you get into a world of trouble. So you just stick to, you know, marking up the higher time frames when the lower time frames chopping, and you just wait for something different to happen in the charts, like, you know, like this big push up, and then you can form up a new trade idea because something changed. This basically from this point on, nothing has changed yet. So this is where price might want to start, you know, tightening up even more, and that's when you start to hop in between even lower time frames and lower time frames and lower time frames, and just get lost and screw yourself. Not saying that price doesn't dump here, I'm just, you know, giving an idea of what you shouldn't do because it'll hurt you. So if you ever find yourself doing that, just turn off the monitor and go walk outside or something, go eat some food. There's always another session. Another thing too is if you have, you know, a higher time frame trade idea, just take it. Now in these futures props a little bit harder because you got to close by end of day sometimes, and sometimes your trades might require that it holds past that. But like, let me see if I can find an example. Maybe like this over here. This is the zone you want to trade off of, right? If you can just sell it like this, you have a very clear invalidation point. Wednesday is high, and you just want to target down here or right over here, these equal bodies, and that's the trade. Just take it. The trade RR makes sense. Who cares about the time scale? Because what's going to happen is you get down on the lower time frames, and this is the original trade idea, and you want to confirm it, and then you try and take this trade, and you get swept out. This one you're lucky to stay in, barely, if that, you know, depending on what you're trading on, you probably get taken out there, right? Versus the original idea, yeah, it's a little more RR, but it's not much more. A little less RR, but it's not much more. And you have a trade that barely goes into drawdown. But better yet, it's just you have one trade idea. You know, you take that one trade idea. If you just traded the original trade idea, you're going to be up in profit for the day instead of, you know, down a few R because you're trying to fight within that trade idea. Right, like even something like this is an incredible trade. You do have to hold through news though, so. But we do see, you know, morning AM session manipulation. That's the low of the day. Price trades up higher. Manipulates, maybe not that one, but because we're following manipulations on a higher time frame, news is likely to just progress what's already happening in the market. So we have a manipulation here, another manipulation here. The open is likely to push in that direction, assuming you have a draw, right? You have a target. If you're on the right side of the draw, because the manipulations have already occurred, it's pretty unlikely that it's going to double or triple manipulate, right? So you have these two down close candles, right? Because we're not going to take this one. This isn't your order block. The reason this isn't your order block is because it's not the lowest candle, the lowest down close candle, large body. So it'd be this one. But you take the whole series of candles, right? So you can take this guy. Then you have a very clear invalidation point below that low right there at 830, or even below here. And you just have a much easier trade idea in that direction without getting lost in here, you know, waiting for this move, trying to catch a bid here, getting smoked, then maybe you can catch a bid here, which is fine, but still, like, you're higher up in the leg, you're in now some high resistance conditions, and you know, managing the trade is just going to be overall harder. So if you have the opportunity to take a trade that fits your RR, that's higher time frame, there's no problem with that. No FEGs. Find maybe support on the down close candle. I've been noticing a lot that NQES has not been printing as many FEGs as it used to. It's just been like holding down close candles, holding down close candles. There's an FEG in here too, but I generally like to see like the FEG that breaks the structure, breaks through the down close candle, like the consolidation, then seeing that stacked FEG hold support, and then you can look to maybe get involved a little bit higher, like something like this, where you have a down close candle, displacement away, right? And something like this. Oops. Not even looking at time, obviously, this is the end of the day, but you know, taking a trade like that through the development, or even, you know, this one. Get ISP, breaks through, get new ISP, you get a pretty clear point of invalidation, down close candle, up close, down close, that digs into this one and then displaces away. So you have a pretty clear stop loss placement just below the body of that candle, or below the swing low. You can hold that guy. That's how I've been executing quite a bit. Go back to my original markings. Yes, did 3 drives. Yeah. 1, 2. This here. 1, 2, 3 drives into liquidity. Potentially start selling off. I'm not holding any bias yet. I need to see a displacement if I want to get involved, showing me that this is in fact the high. Otherwise, just assume what's already happening in the market, which is we are consolidating and grinding higher. Now, in a situation like this, what I'll do is I'll start to mark things out. No intention to trade them, but I want to mark things out and just see if I can figure out what price is reacting to, and then build a narrative that way. And then I'll start, like, in my mind, I'm constantly kind of predicting or building out scenarios in my head. So, you know, right here, if price starts to reject, okay, then what? Maybe we pull back up and we reject again. And then when I start to see that my trains of thought are in line with price action, then that just gives me more confidence in the direction. And then, you know, that's just me confirming that I'm on side, right? And I'm just kind of doing that constantly. Right now, I'm currently like not going too into depth with it because we're in high resistance conditions, grinding higher. It's consolidation. Stick to what's simple and not waste your energy because it's pretty exhausting constantly doing that. So we just chilling. Just chilling. It's really typical of a sell-off. I like that we ran highs 3 times on ES. I like that we've rejected at the 50%. I like that we've curled over right here. So we're not pushing up very high into that leg. That's showing heaviness to me. Right, we're only put that, there's that down leg. Actually, right to the swing low. There's that down leg, and we just curled up a bit, taps up into the 50%. We're rolling over. It's very typical of a swing fail. And what I think a lot of people, where they go wrong is when they're trying to build a narrative, they kind of put themselves in a box. You know what I mean? And yes, structure is bullish, but structure isn't narrative. Structure will help you with narrative, and structures are really good at getting precise entries and stop loss placements and validation points. But when you're building a narrative, you're just being loose with it. You know, get into your intuition, just see what you can come up with and build confidence, because that's also what you're doing, is you're building personal confidence in the trade and in the trade idea. If you're, you know, you're trading discretionary at the end of the day, unless you're hardcore mechanical, which is fine too, but you're gonna experience, you have to brunt drawdowns, and then most of your big months come when the market's conditions in your favor. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but if you're funding, I don't think that's the best way to do it. I think a nice mix of both. Really mechanical entries, really mechanical exits, really mechanical stop loss placements, and then pretty discretionary with your bias building. ES looks like it's going to pop to the upside. NQ does not. NQ might be dragged to the upside. That's why we're not trading it. We're just chilling at resistance, chilling in above PDH. In liquidity. This is shit conditions. We might get a breakthrough, but we're in deep premium right now. In the end of the month, at the end of the quarter. We chilling. Gotta chill, we gotta chill. Grinding, just grinding and grinding and grinding to the upside. ES wants different things than NQ. I think that's it for the AM session. For me, at least. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it early, and that'll be it. I'll be back tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna keep sucking at streaming until we get good at it. Later.